Good afternoon, Maverick traders. It's Tuesday, September 24th. Joe with you here. Let's jump into our market roundup. I'm going to break down the meaningful news of the day. Let's take a look at how the overall market's finished and share trades, as always, with the community.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional stock and option traders. Maverick Trading is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
As we move into the market analysis, folks, you'll see that we actually had another hesitation day. Now, I've been seeing this basically since the FOMC announcement. Let's get into that daily news. So tight trading ranges, and this is just not across the SPY, but on the Qs and the diamonds as well. The diamonds have actually been setting subsequent highs or all-time highs, just like the SPY has. The Qs kind of holding in there, but it's this weird holding pattern that I've been seeing as of late. But sentiment does remain bullish. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that. But sentiment does remain to the bull side as we're seeing participation across some very diverse sectors. How do we finish overall? Pretty much flat. Dow 0.2, SPX 0.25%, Qs but just over half. But the Russells I thought was interesting at 0.35. Usually that's a lot more volatile than it has been. Oil up 1.66, folks. It's been super volatile up and down, but understand oil's still around 71.50 a barrel. It's really just been kind of hanging around that $70 level, a little higher, a little lower, but it's been super volatile. And then gold up 1.29 with the expectation of rate cuts to continue. Let's move over to the advanced decline line. 61% advancing, 35% declining. Very close, a little bit, like I say, glass half full. It's been very interesting to see how we open and close. Lots of dojis. We'll get to the chart here in a second. But overall, still up, right? Still up at those levels. Above, below the 50-day moving average, 71% versus 29%. So let's just go straight into that chart, and you can see this is kind of what I'm looking at. And it's interesting because I don't really know what to get from it. We're back up at these levels and just kind of sitting there. And the most important part, I should say, is we are definitely above that benchmark. Now, do we go higher from there? We sure could. We could. Or is there a little bit of reluctancy, a little bit of worry, and is it time to take another round of profits? That's kind of where we're at. Now, it becomes difficult. Let's move to the Qs here. It becomes difficult because we're trying to play momentum, sentiment, right? Moving up, moving down, moving sideways, underperforming sectors, outperforming sectors. Let's box this in. Here is the Qs. It's at that level. Look at this. So 1, 2, 3, 4 dojis in a row. Little hammer candle today, but at some key levels. I really don't want to look too deep into it. I don't want to try to project what I think will happen. We have to kind of follow along. But the way the markets have been behaving, it can prove a little difficult. Here we are on our heat map, and you can see, look, NVIDIA's up almost 4%, but Microsoft dropped 1%. Apple's flat. Visa's down 5.4. But then you take a look at it. JP Morgan, how come they're up 0.12 and PayPal 0.86? And the idea that I'm trying to project here, folks, is we don't know. There is just posturing. It just really depends on how the sentiment changes. But when it comes to the economy, we haven't done anything. We're flat. Sure, we cut interest rates. We'll see where inflation goes, but there isn't any really economic news to drive these markets up or down. And that's why I think we're seeing this kind of sideways movement as of late. This is the chart I wanted to show. This is 1 week performance, so this is going to be from Tuesday to Tuesday. But when you have things like basic materials, super reserved, and then this third one down is technology, aggressive growth, expansion, consumer cyclical as well. This isn't defensive. Communication services, but then energy and industrials. I mean, we're seeing a whole bunch of moves into some reserve stuff at the same time into some of these outperformers. So what I can get out of this is there is definitely a sentiment push into the markets in both directions. How long that lasts, I don't know, but it's been kind of fun to watch. Now, it's really easy to track because it's given us nothing but consolidation. Once again, folks, I'm going to go ahead and draw it right there. It's not really giving me an opportunity to go ahead and just throw out all my bulls and I'm sure as heck not going to short this. So if one thing we're going to get out of today's update is going to be, look, it looks like these markets are waiting for something. So I've got the monthly outlook at a +2. I have to. It's a beautiful ascending triangle high base. See if I can't draw that since we're sitting right there. Beautiful little high base. And now it did break out, but it's consolidating at that level. The only thing that I kept yellow was the slope. I guess it's that 50 I'd like to see turn up a little bit more before I went straight up +2, +3, or even +3 on the monthly outlook. But it is definitely to the bull side. So this is what's kind of cool. Let's move over to some potential trades. Ones we've been tracking since Friday. I had some last week and Corey yesterday. And I just like to continue on with what we're seeing in the markets. And when you get the larger companies in every single sector being purchased, you get what I'm seeing as of late. Now, nothing really potential on the neutral side. Anything that I've had neutral is actually broken down or actually moved higher. But bears stay bears. So first off, let's just go straight to the bull. This is DuPont. This was a Friday trade that we talked about looking to do maybe kind of a vertical spread. I think 86 area was the more aggressive target. But this is just a huge surge into a very large Dow component, right? This is DuPont. This is a very large company, but take a look at that surge. A big push, good volume. So I'm seeing money go into, hey, okay, well, there's materials, right? Okay, so it looks like everybody's doing some defensive plays. Now, at the same time, they're not. They're also doing technology. We're also seeing communications. We're seeing a lot of things come off of the bottom. That being said, there are some sectors that have been underperforming very heavily. Healthcare. This is Moderna, mRNA. I think Corey made mention of this yesterday. And look, it's just following suit. Now, it's not collapsing yet, but it is definitely bleeding lower. It's following its descending triangle pattern. I'd like to see this kind of really fall over, but we don't have to do anything aggressively to the bear side. We could do something kind of sideways to down. So I just get this feeling that the markets are actually kind of waiting for the next shoe to drop or some sort of announcement that allows them to continue to buy or maybe take another round of profit taking. So since the FOMC decision, the markets have been consolidating at their current levels. Sentiment remains bullish. Keep that in mind, my bears. It's still bullish, but we are seeing hesitation. Could it be we saw a little bit of weakness in the PMI? We do have a revision in the GDP tomorrow. Take a look at the economic reports and Powell's remarks, and then that PCE number. So we'll see where that goes. Just step back, all right, because you can try to anticipate something. It becomes a slippery slope. Let's continue to follow the markets and just make sure you always check for earnings on those trades. But we'll see what happens over the next few days. All right, folks, thanks for joining me today. We'll talk to you next time. Bye, everybody.